Early on, it was probably a Saturday night, and I was the only ranger on at Pace Bend, and we heard about a big fight down in one of the coves. And actually, there was a TCSO deputy who was pretty close by, so we go down there, and it's like 7 giant guys, and they're all beating on each other. I think when we showed up, we had placed rocks around parking areas to try to control where people parked and do some restoration. And one guy had another guy, and he's bashing his head against the rock, you know. And so all the rest of them were duking it out and fighting. And so the deputy's name was Roger, and we kind of wade into all of it. And they're actually, you know, they break it up pretty quick. We didn't have to do any fighting. But when we got down to it, they're all brothers. Just having a good time beating on each other.
You had a lot of people getting drunk and getting in fights, motorcycle gangs hanging out, and expecting the parks staff to go out there and deal with those folks, you know, at midnight was really dangerous for someone that's not trained to deal with that kind of stuff.
Travis County Sheriff's Office patrolled the parks.
But not a comprehensive plan and not a comprehensive strategy to have park law enforcement handle issues that go on in a park. And park issues are just oftentimes very unique to parks.
35-year-old male.
Well, the first park rangers were commissioned in 1994.
The program has kind of grown ever since. That's what makes them kind of unique. It separates them from other law enforcement in the area, is that we expect them to wear several hats. One of them, you know, obviously law enforcement. We also want them to be competent EMTs, and we want them to understand how parks operate. They need to have some knowledge of park operations. And so it's kind of like a 3-legged stool. You know, they have those 3 elements that they rely on, and we need them. They're very important for us, for our mission.
We have a great diversity of parks all the way from Hamilton Pool Preserve, which is a preserve and operated much differently than, say, some of our parks on the east side, which have athletic fields. And when there's big soccer tournaments going on, your day can really vary.
We had a whole string of car break-ins at Hippie Hollow. We just couldn't catch these people. You know, another car got broken into, and I'm in there trying to process it for fingerprints and do my thing. And anyway, down the floorboard on the passenger side was a set of keys, and I told the lady, I was like, well, it's a good thing they didn't steal your car, you know, because your keys are down here. And she's like, oh, those aren't my keys. And I was like, really? I just started watching the parking lot to see who was missing their keys, and sure enough, it didn't take long, and finally there's 3 guys that just walking around and had their head down, and I walked up and just said, hey, y'all need some help? And they're like, oh yeah, we lost our keys. And I was like, well, what do they look like? Oh, you talking about these keys? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, well, you know, I found these in the car that got broken into. And anyway, 2 of them just bolted off running, and I caught the 3rd one. But what was satisfying about that is, you know, no one likes a thief. And this time, you know, I was able to just hit the fob on the car key. So anyway, we found out which car they were driving, and sure enough, all the stuff that had been stolen for about a week or 2, they still had all in their possession, and we were able to call people and say, hey, come pick up your stuff, we got it back. And anyway, so that's one of those that actually caught a lucky break.
Our interaction with the public, because we are EMTs, it kind of softens our approach, and the fact that we're in parks, we have a little bit gentler approach, as it were.
Kind of a unique group. We do our best to try to let them have a good time, and you know, that's what parks is all about.
That's what the public sees when they interact, and when they have problems, they have a medical emergency or a law enforcement problem, the Rangers are there to help them out.
Well, and then there was a lady on one holiday weekend who was going up and down the west side, just like they used to have in bars, maybe they still do, with a little tray, you know, selling cigarettes. She was selling sundry things, but she was topless. I think she had a good day until we caught up with her.